with the analysis next with Chris Maduka. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Signature TV. Good morning, dear people who watch us from everywhere in the world. You watch. We're calling for a comment too. It's not only Chris Maduka that has comment on the things that are happening in Nigeria. There are many. So let's start from somewhere. Discos risk federal government agencies sanction over meter change. And I think that's recording on all the newspapers. And, you know, when Nigerians were talking about handing over, public-private partnership, or BPE, Bureau of Public Enterprises, where some public organizations are handed over to private organizations to manage. It can only work in a country that have a very good regulation over these things, because it's all about making money. And the people you have handed over, these used to be public organizations where government manage, and in some cases government will subsidize the cost for the consumers. They are now purely up for on commercial enterprise basis. It's just a commercial orientation. You pay money for hand, back for ground. And that's why we are happy with what the federal government is saying, because the discos, when they brought, I am living an example of when the discos came, we have a meter we are using in Nigeria, and they converted it for us and told us that you go to the offices, you recharge on your card, and you come and slot, and you have your light. And they didn't do, because everything about Nigeria has issue. You go to hotels, you only slot your card in your room, lights will come. When you want to leave the hotel room, and you're still a resident, you remove the card so that you save light. But in our own case, they made discos make sure that you slot the card, the light will go there and be running. There's no control. The only control is just to switch off, but once you switch off all the thing, light is still running in the cables. So no control. And they are interested in changing. They've changed to another meter, even where we're staying in Enugu, they're calling for upgrade of the meters. Some people in Enugu, majority of the people using the old meter went to court and said, we are comfortable with the old one. And there's this unconfirmed story that this old one, doesn't run as fast as things are. Yeah. The same discos came up with the issue of greedy A, greedy B, greedy C, greedy A. They now rate, I don't know how they put people in this grid that where you used to spend, despite the fact that they increased the tariff. They put people on grid that you pay more. There's a family of 4 that used to have light of 5,000 that can last them for 3 weeks. 5,000 light can hardly last people now for 3 days. And they're still talking about this meter thing. I've been in a place where people went to this distribution company's office to buy meter with their own money. And they will tell you is your property. But in real fact, no meter, no, when it was NEPA, until it came to all these decentralized organizations running power in Nigeria. None of these things has become your property. Because when you are staying in a house, they remove the landlords from being in charge of these meters, and they say tenant will pay. My neighbor went to pay to get the new meter. He has to spend over 80,000 naira with the bribes and all the things that go with it. And now they're still talking about changing meter, and the people are confused. And they are not doing enough public enlightenment to tell people what's happening.
You want to change the meters?
That's where the over meter change. That's which meter are you changing to? They already have some of them, the ones you can charge using your phone. Makes it easier. Nigeria love that. But nobody has talked about the implications. Which one consumes faster? Which one? All this idea is that the federal government regulatory body, even the states are now customizing electric. We have a Enugu electric regulation body, which some people misunderstood as that EEDC is no more in charge. We brought their corporate affairs man, the communication man, to explain here on this desk. And he told us that they are just regulatory body. So they should step up the job of regulation and watch what these electric distribution companies are doing, because they are out to make money.
Yeah,
And if they are not watched, it becomes an issue.
yeah, Enugu is one of the major states that have, ratified and domesticated this electricity unbundling, so-called. I think Enugu State and one other states, but Enugu specifically. I'm just wondering whether you think that the coming of the EERC in Enugu would make anything even better, because again, we've seen how government offices are run. We've seen how local government administration is run. We've seen how state government offices are run. Since this one is under the government, how sure are we it's going to be efficient?
I need to be very frank with you. I've always been very critical, constructively about issues in Nigeria. Let the Enugu Electric Regulatory Commission burn their fingers. We give them a chance. They're just less than 2 weeks. Let them prove to us that earn our trust or crush it. So it's not good to preempt what they're going to do. What I will recommend is that should know that the eyes are watching them. If they want to go back to the cost they lay on them, he said that this man is going to be corrupt, and he goes there to prove that he's a corrupt person. They have a choice to earn the trust of Enugu electric consumers on how they regulate power, because it's a push and pull thing. Leave it to the electric distribution companies. They want to make money. And they have interest groups, and they all want to provide you services. And that's about what the world is going. Provide people, I know Nigerians that are resilient. They want to have service and they will pay for. But they did not say, because is their grandmother that reincarnated in form of their daughter, they will use food to kill the girl, because they say, this is my grandmother came back to life. No matter so let them not kill us with you have provided service, good. There has been light improvement, good. We give it to EDC. But they should be regulated, because absolute power, they say, corrupts absolutely. And now when why our fear, which you have raised, where the regulatory body have his hand soiled, we are sold off. Yesterday we were talking about the revered Temple of Justice of Nigeria, how the politicians are manipulating them and making them now look like, we used to have the army in Nigeria. When you hear army, you sit up. They made sure Nigerian situation measure, they brought the revered army boys to the streets and kept them in the sun. They mixed with everybody, and now the bug that has beaten everybody in Nigeria is almost trying to bite the Nigerian army. They should also watch it. So everything that we trusted to regulate the society is being infiltrated. And I give it to the politicians who are the leaders of this country, because they have not been leading us with example. So everything about us is being corrupt and messed up. So you can see about that. Dangote Refinery, you made your point known about it. Ipman, the strike deal. But nobody has come out to tell us what deal, what price. They can now lift directly, good. They can now do all things, good. And this, as we are talking, remember how many months this talk has been there. Has he made us not to buy fuel at 1,400? You keep using that figure. Let the government come and prove, because in some part of Nigeria, that's it. So you can say you sell 1,020 naira in Enugu, Abuja, and in Abuja, Lagos. You have not come to my village to tell me how much I buy there, because nobody regulates it there. So I put it on average of 1,004. That's average what average Nigerian buy fuel. This talk over time, they just told us this. Tomorrow they will say they disagree. Just to prolong us, go on and on, we'll be buying this fuel. And check the number of liters we consume. As far as the delay in reaching agreement or begin to activate this agreement, we'll be buying at this price, which is killing. And more Nigerians are dead, and they're suffering this hardship. So whatever they want to do, let them do it fast. And they should come out and tell us at what price. They say it will soon drop. Now, that's also political.
It is political.
So we don't care about political stocks in Nigeria. It doesn't lead us anywhere. With Satan, we begin to shoot the shoot and leave politics alone. Can't politicize every part of our life, and we are dying. So that's about that. You go to Vanguard, there is these mining marshals, and they go, it's Chinese illegal miners. This issue of Chinese being illegal miners in Nigeria, and they connive with Nigerian locals. You know when they talk about it, My people say, Opu no onye nwere ọba kpọọ ya ọkpọkọrọ. The agbataobi will own to. If you own something, you don't value it. Then your neighbors will play football with you, what you don't value. Nigerians have over 34 minerals under our soil that are in commercial quantity that can yield us money. And we were playing politics with oil and gas and gave all our life to it. So the Chinese saw loopholes in all Nigerian ground. 24 of them are located in upper Nigeria. Northern, just middle belt to 24 of this, out of these 34 minerals in high commercial quantity in Nigeria. And you see people say they are mining gravel and all these, what they call it, these in stones they used to build. But these are all underground cover. You see individuals going to buy sites. They say, call it quarry sites. And they're minting money there. The government stay away. Either they are complicit. Because we have agencies of government that's supposed to regulate this. So once in a while you hear one Chinese is arrested, he did it. But when people see in viral video of how Nigerian resources are explored illegally and moved, the other day a lot of Nigerians died when in the landslide in a pit where they mine. How many? A lot. Of course, figures of people who die in Nigeria doesn't make sense to anybody again. Not even to our government. Now, that's about it. So, we should step up. If we don't value what we have, people who value it, they'll find a way of cripple under us and be nibbling at it like a caterpillar nibbles at the leaves of vegetable, of leaves of trees in a summer morning. Before you know it, it's over. These illegal miners are like the small axe that cut Nigerians' resources small until we find out there's nothing there again. All our eyes are in oil. Even our president is a minister of the oil and gas, so they forget this area. And somebody has recommended on Signature TV that they should change the minister of oil and gas to minister of energy. Because the world is talking energy now. But we are. We are stuck in Nigeria to oil and gas. Even our president, our dear president, is the minister of oil and gas. So that's where our interest is. Where you drop the honey and sugar, that's where the ants go.
Right. I mean, it's shocking, really, that these things keep happening over and over again. You will never see a black man, a Nigerian, try to do these kinds of things in China,
other countries,
or do that in Russia, or do that. You're going to be killed. Yeah, they're going to take you out.
Of course, they will show very blunt. They will bare their fangs. Then everybody will run away. But in Nigeria, it's like this. Before you know it, there is released and all those kind of things. There will stories. When are we going to stop stories and begin action in Nigeria to save Nigeria?
Is it that the security forces in Nigeria are afraid of the foreigners?
It's not afraid. They know what to do. Nigerian security agencies are one of the best trained in the world. It's just the same bug. They are Nigerians. And I keep saying, every country, every set of people, every community, they will decide on what they want at any time. So let us not blame anybody. What we are getting is what we actually ordered. What we ever ordered is coming to us. Nigerians have built our life on corruption. So you don't have to remove yourself and say, this is a push it, blame, this is a corrupt person. Nigerians, if we are 200 billion people, we are fantastically corrupt. And until we come out and say we don't want this corruption, then things begin to change. It begin to change with the agencies we put in place. We begin to punish people who are corrupt severely, and everybody will run away. Our former vice president said it in different ways. He said, the problem of our country, people who commit these offenses, you will see money, people are being accused that they are, and the EFCC can't even arrest. They can't even arrest, not to prosecute. They will go round and round and round. They're not picking cheap people, those ones you call soft targets. The real people that hold the money that can survive 100 million people in Nigeria, one person is holding it. And the EFCC and the ICPC, all these people are doing like this, telling us stories. They will make ceremony of event and all that. They will announce to us when the people will report to EFCC. Will tell us in the newspaper headline, we're reviewing when they come to us. It's not good. And when people see it, they see that if you steal Nigeria dry, you can buy up the country. So they go ahead and steal. The last man who stole, what happened to him? Is even in Nigeria here a player bargain, meaning I can steal so much money and I still go back and start negotiating. They will tell me how much I return and I go free. Somebody was doing mathematics. I saw somewhere where they did mathematics on how much somebody stole and how much he returned. And the person will still have about 22 billion naira left to go. Then when young Nigerians see these things, I tell Nigeria, when the big goat is eating the fodders, the small ones are watching. So what generation of Nigerians are you expecting? Somebody said the next generation of Africans are going to be worse. There's nothing we left for them. They only tell them, these are children you are sending to Oxford with stolen money. You build things they can't control. They can't imagine it. Some of them will go abroad and the people were begging them to come back to Nigeria. They say, come back to live in a house that will cost you over 500 million to renovate. When the man is in one small house in London, everything he has, he lives comfortable. He wants you to come and face headache. He's not safe. Because when you gather this corrupt money and put around him, he'll be running, he'll be looking back at any time. He can't sleep safely. People are targeting him for. And so we are in circle of doom. And we think we eat our brethren to go to sleep. We go to bed on empty stomach. I will not stop telling Nigerians that.
Right, we are actually out of time. Just 1 minute that the producer have just announced, but I just wanted to roll up with this. Federal government spends 19 billion naira on presidential planes in 15 months. I mean, this is unprecedented. So we're counting 15 months. Another 15 months, you're expected to spend another
what
19
is
billion
it? Charles,
naira.
I don't know because I lost interest. What's our budget? Budget for Nigeria. Budget for Nigeria. We're using, and these are countries that will come and post to the world. And this the idea is that the world has given up on us. You cannot be spending this kind of money and you're telling the world that your people are suffering and you require help. And what, by the way, if you have 19 billion to spend 15 months, check the budget of states, check the budget, 19 billion, 5 billion to renovate a house in Abuja, 21 billion to build a house for the vice president, 660 million to buy SUV for almost all. Check the number. And now even the central bank officials are now caught by the bug of that expensive car they want to use to run in the same country. Out of 200 million, check the percentage of this. Check the percentage of Nigerians who are suffering. And you find that inhumanity, the inhuman nature of people who think that the high level of authorities in Nigeria, they just want themselves comfortable. They don't care about any other man. But I wish them luck. I wish them luck because they have to employ more policemen, more people in the army. They have to beef up our security because they have openly invited insecurity in different guises. People who are hungry are angry and they can do anything. And God help Nigeria. We openly invite trouble in Nigeria and we sent our young, innocent Nigerian security agents to go and be fighting what we have put up. And all these people will go home in their comfortable accommodation. They fly abroad. They stay in the comfortable securities and put to the agencies. They will crashing with Nigeria, fighting and killing each other. Only God will settle our case between us and the Nigerian politicians. You people are wicked. You are wicked, and I put it to you.
Maduka.
You are inhuman.
Wow.
We can feel the anger. Thank you very much, Chris Maduka, for your
Thank you
time
for
this
bringing me.
morning.
Thank you.
All right, and that's the most we can take for the review. We'll be heading for another interview. You don't go anywhere, but back shortly.